Hello, AriTheGoddesss here. I hope you all are doing well today. May this message resonate with you, and may you always use true discernment within every message. May the divine guide you and bring you the truth, the wisdom, and the clarity that is needed for your life, for your journey, and for this moment. Thank you all so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you for your love. Thank you for showing love. Also, thank you for sending love. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Also, thank you for those of you who have purchased the Divine Activation and Healing digital deck. And I'm also grateful for those who even listen to the messages of Divine Activation and Healing. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. This is going to be a Divine Activation and Healing message. In these messages, I use my personal digital deck along with other decks to give these messages. If you're looking to purchase the Divine Activation and Healing deck, the description will be below with the link in it, and you can click that link, or you can go to AriTheGoddesss.com or AriTheGoddesss.etsy.com to purchase this deck. So within the Divine Activation and Healing message that I have today, the messages that I have for Divine Activation and Healing is surrender, gratitude, honor, third eye, 666, and earth. And that 666 is speaking on reflection. So there may be some of you that may have been doing a lot of reflecting. You may have been doing, or you may be guided to do a lot of reflecting in this time. A lot of you have come very far within your journey, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And you've learned to surrender, or you're learning to surrender. And reflection in this time, I'm getting for some, reflection in this time is needed, or this is what you're doing, or this is what you have done. And you're starting to honor yourself more for some. And for others, when you reflect, when you're able to have gratitude, you're able to honor and be grateful for how far you've come. But for most of you, you really have learned how to surrender. You really, maybe you may have went through a lot of obstacles and challenges in your life, inwardly and outwardly. And, you've learned to surrender, and you've learned to be more grateful and honor yourself and honor the divine within. And I believe this is what the third eye is speaking of. You're learning how to see things through the divine's lens, instead of seeing things only in a 3D way, in a way that is just physical. You've learned to see things through the third eye. You learned to see, there we go, Ari. You're learning to see things spiritually. Or this is what a lot of you all are going through right now. See, you're learning, okay, that's what's going on. Okay, for a lot of you all, you're no longer seeing things in the physical sense. You're learning how to see things spiritually. Wow, and this is something that I wanted to speak on. This is something that I wanted to make a message about separately, but it may go into this message. I may still make the message that I wanted to make for this just separately. But I'm going to kind of touch bases on it. And basically in the message that I wanted to make is, there are a lot of you that are going through spiritual. You're surrendering to the physical. You're surrendering to the only way of seeing things physical, and you're learning how to see things spiritual. And this may have caused a lot of growing pains as well. You may have went through a lot of growing pains when it comes to this. You may have went through a lot of people misunderstanding you, a lot of people not trying to understand you, a lot of people that may misjudged you or misjudging you in this time, because you're growing. You have grown. You have broken free from just seeing things physically, and you're learning how to see things through the divine's lens, through your third eye. And because of this, a lot of people, places, and things have been removed in your life. But what I wanted to, and with this earth sign here as well, so you've learned from a lot, you've grown through a lot, and because of this, you've broken a lot of karmic cycles. You've broken free from a lot of cycles. You've broken free from a lot of bondages, a lot of beliefs, a lot of habits, a lot of illusions that no longer serve you. And you're learning how to become, and you've learned how to become one. To be, conscious, to be present. Or this is something that you have learned, or this is something that you're learning. And forgive me if I'm everywhere, but this is what's, I really believe that this is what's going on for a lot of you all. You're no longer seeing things only in the physical way. You're seeing things in a spiritual way. And you may not, for some, you may not know what's going on, but that's what's going on. You're breaking free from the physical sense, the only 3D. You're raising your vibration, you're raising your frequency. And it may be painful mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, but it's needed so that you can get to this higher level. It's needed so that you can see things through the divine lens. It's needed so that you can, rise above in this time, because you will be using also your spiritual gifts. You will be activating spiritual gifts, and you'll be using these spiritual gifts to create. But I was also going to say within this message that a lot of you all are going through, this, you are activating in this time, and there may be a lot of people that misunderstanding. You may be even misunderstanding yourself. You may be even wondering, what's going on. You may be doubting yourself in this time. A lot of people may be judged. Like I said before, a lot of people may be judging you. And it's nothing more worse in this time for the ones that you love, the ones that you care about. Not understand what is going on. It's people that you may be looking in the eye right now. You may be looking in the eye and wondering, and they may be wondering what's going on, and you probably cannot tell them exactly what's going on with you. You just know that you're growing, and it's painful. You may have experienced a lot of losses in this time. You may be losing even the people that is looking at you and judging you, but it's meant for that as well, because if they only people, it's because you aligning with the people who do understand this. Because only people who have experienced something like this will be able to understand what this really is. Because if the people who is meant for you wouldn't be judging you if they have went through this. They would know, oh, this looks familiar. And that's not what's going on. You're being judged, you're being criticized, you're being compared, even in this time. And it may be hurtful. It may be hurtful in this time. But that does not mean that you're lazy. That does not mean that you're not being cared, that you're not caring for yourself, or you don't care. Then you're going through for some you may be going through an awakening. For some you just learning how to surrender. For some, there are people who have that. Now this is for some. There are people who have probably cut you off because they have already went through that, right? And you didn't understand what they were going through in that time. You didn't understand what they were speaking on, talking about spiritually in that time. But now you're understanding everything that they said in that time. You're realizing in this time where they were on their journey, and that they've already passed that journey. They've already passed those tests, and that this is what they was trying to speak to you about. This is what they was trying to get you to see in that time, but you wasn't ready. And for some, this is what you're doing, and you may be divinely guided to release that and surrender that and understand that this is an individual journey, and when others want to grow, they will. But yes, this is something that you may be learning, that Yes, for some, a lot of things that someone may have told you in the past, it may be a lot of things may be coming up right now, spiritually. See, you probably didn't see things in a spiritual sense. You probably didn't see things with your third eye, through the divine's lens. But now you are. And it may be painful. It may seem painful, but this is part of your growth. This is part of your growth. And you're learning to trust in this time. You're transforming. You're awakening. You're transforming. You may be guided right now to re-enchant certain rituals. You're becoming anew. A lot of people may not even recognize you in this time. A lot of people may not even recognize you in this time. You may not even recognize yourself in this time. For some who have went through this, a lot of people don't recognize you. For some that are going through this, you're transforming and you don't look the same. You're not even doing things the same. You're not even moving the same way. And you may be being judged and criticized for that. But please know where you are in divine alignment, and you're being guided to trust in this time. The other day I seen 2 orange butterflies. Orange may be significant. The sacral chakra may be significant. You may be working more on that chakra, or you may be guided to work more with this chakra. Listening to meditations when it comes to that chakra, blessing that chakra, really loving on that chakra. Really loving on that chakra and, blessing it. This is the chakra when it comes to creativity, expressing yourself in creative ways. Maybe this is something that you're getting into now. Maybe because you see things in this spiritual divine lens now, you're creating in this sense, and it's beautiful. And this is why you may be guided to, what's your formula, because you're going to be embracing so much, in this time, coming up with a formula. And it's not a formula where it's like that can be mimicked. It's really, this formula is really tailored to you, the rituals you do. And rituals does not have to be just this, I'm putting 10 potions in a bottle and drinking it. No, it's what makes you you. What is the habits you do? What are the things that you love? And it makes you you, and it's a part of you. Because this is how you're going to reveal. Within this, you're going to be revealing, talents. You're going to be inspiring others. Right now, you may be guided in this time to meditate more. Any questions that you've asked, set your intention before the meditation, and be patient for the solutions. And I've said this before, it's so many ways to meditate, but I ask that when you do meditate, that you don't judge yourself for how it looks or how it feels. Giving yourself that time, 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. Some people even go longer than that. But even just starting off with that 5, 10, 15 minutes, and allowing yourself to just sit still, setting your timer for 5 to 10, 15 minutes if you've never done it before, and allow yourself just time of stillness. And just by you allowing that time of stillness, you're able to tap into energies that even if things just seem like you just can't, allowing 5 or 10 minutes, whether you're actually being still or not, just allowing that time. And as you're able to allow that time, gradually over time, you'll learn that you're becoming more present, and you're not judging and criticizing yourself as much. So just giving yourself that. Even if it sounds silly, even if it feels silly, just giving yourself that. It's going to be you're going to be surprised by how you don't judge yourself, and then just the energy of how you feel, and the energy and the solutions that you get just from that A lot of you all are becoming more self-aware as well. You're becoming more self-aware. You're becoming more focused on self and what you have done and what you're doing. You're becoming more focused and aware when it comes to even people, places, and things. You're becoming more conscious and cautious of who you be around, what you are around. And this is the part of, this growth. This is part of your learning. You've become very, very wise. A lot of you all have done this already. Everything that I'm speaking of, reflection and grounding and trusting, you've done this already. And a lot of you all are already celebrating. You're already, and being an inspiration and celebrating your and blooming and celebrating your success, because you've learned a lot of self-knowledge. You learned how to go within, and you learned that that's where the truth resides. This is how you stay in divine alignment. This is how you get the solutions, by going within, listening to the inner voice, meditating, going inward, listening to that inner guidance, listening to the divine. You've learned that, or you're learning that. And you're using that knowledge that you've learned about yourself to guide, to inspire, to embrace. You're also using the heart in this time as well. You're letting the heart be the compass. And because of this, because of all of this, because of your awakening, because of this frequency that you're vibrating on, life is showering you with its abundance. And I have here gratitude twice. So you're being reminded of gratitude, and you also being reminded to have gratitude and to see how blessed you are. What you've went through, a lot of people have not learned the lessons from like you have. A lot of people didn't learn the lessons that you did mentally. A lot of people didn't learn the lessons that you did emotionally, spiritually, or physically. A lot of people didn't learn that, and you're blessed of how far you've come. Do you not know what you've been through? Spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally. Do you not know what you've been through? A lot. And only the people who have walked this know. And this isn't to take away from anyone else, because we all, have this individual journey. But what I'm saying is, you have been through a lot, and you're being reminded here twice to know how grateful you are, to know how blessed you are, and to be grateful. And when you vibrate in this gratitude, this is a frequency of thankfulness. And, the divine wants to, bring this energy, wants to, come to you, because you have that gratitude, because you're in that frequency. You have been through a lot. You are blessed. Even when you was judged, even when people didn't understand what you were going through, even when, you've gotten through, even when people doubted you, when people compared you, when people, when you doubted yourself, when you was comparing yourself, when you was, wanting to give up, you stood the test. You learned the lessons. You've gotten through those obstacles. You broke free from those illusions, those bondages. And for some, this is what you're doing. And this is the time to be grateful for that. Even if you still may be doing, even out of, let's say there's 10 obstacles. And let's say you've only gotten through, you know that you've gotten through 3. That is something to be grateful about, because as you not focus on the other 7, you're going to continue to break free each and every time. So if you're on number 3 and you're not trying to focus on the other 7 and just focus on that 3, then it becomes 4, then it becomes 5, then it becomes 6, then it becomes 7. And next thing you know, you broke free from all 10 of those obstacles. And I didn't even mean to do this. 10 is a sign of completion. And a lot of you all may be seeing 10-10 or have seen 10-10 a lot lately. And it's because you have broken free from so many things that could have really stopped you and made and had you stagnant. A lot of you all, and this is a message that I wanted to speak about as well. There's someone or some that has broken free from an illness. Like there's an illness that that you are free from now. I'm not sure what this is, what it actually is, but there's an illness that someone no longer have anymore. That phase in your life, that cycle, and it's because you believed. It's because of, it's because you continue to just go. And that was powerful. You continue to believe, you continue to trust. You continue to, ground yourself and be in nature. You continue to close out karmic cycles. You continue to heal inwardly. There are some, a lot of people who've closed out mindsets of lack. You no longer have that lack mindset anymore. Insecurities. You've closed out those cycles of just being insecure, feeling unstable, feeling unsecure, not secure. You've closed out those cycles. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Yeah, a lot of this you may have felt in the time. You may have felt as though you may have, in the time that you were going through these things, you may feel like you were losing a lot, but you gained so much. You were losing things physically, but you were gaining things spiritually. I'm gonna say that again. You may have been losing things physically, but you were gaining things spiritually. You were gaining spiritual insight. You were gaining the truth. And this is why you were able to honor yourself in this time. You're more confident in honoring yourself. This honor message from Divine Activation and Healing is speaking of, honoring. There's so much that we could be honoring about ourselves. There's so much wisdom and truth that is around us, that's in us and around us. And it deserves to be honored. We deserve to be honored. And for some, because you decided to, go on this journey and trust and ground yourself, you have broken free from a lot of karma. And what you thought that was for you, what you thought you've lost, I just basically said this, what you thought you've lost, you've gained so much. You also gained self-love as well. You learn to love that inner vulnerable child. You learn to care for that child and to have an outrageous openness. You learn to open your mind with this outrageous openness card here. You learn to love yourself. Because you cut out karmic ways, cut out people that, wasn't serving you. In return, you learn to love yourself. You learn to trust yourself. Wow. And this was the right action with the right action card that just came out. This is something that some of you all have done, and this is something that some of you all are doing right now, or will be doing. And if you're needing help, invite it from the divine. Ask the divine. If you need help cutting off people, places, and things, ask the divine in this time for help. And the divine is going to bring you to the right assistance for you to cut these people, places, and things off. It doesn't even have to be people, places, and things. It could be habits. It could be habits that you know that you are wanting to stop. Addictions that you know that you are wanting to stop. I met someone and he's a musician, and he was telling me about how he used to be a what do you call it? Why can't I think of it? He used to drink a lot. What is the name of that? Alcoholic? There we go. He used to be an alcoholic, and he had overcome it by music. The way that he was able to overcome it because he was able to find something that he really loved to do, and that's music. And he says that he told me that he does karaoke, and he just, likes to go to different places and like just play his music because that's the way it has inspired him, and it helps him not to think about alcohol. And so I go on to say, as he's talking, I was like, that's beautiful, because basically we agreed on like that is not only helping him to overcome his alcohol, that intake on his life, but it is able to help others as well. And he just basically agreed. And I didn't ask for this conversation. He just randomly, brought this up as I'm standing in line, waiting on something. This is a conversation that got sparked up. And, this is what, a lot of people are doing or learning, going through, these different challenges, these obstacles, so that they can see what they're really, how honorable they are, how extraordinary they are, how they're able to use whatever it is that they're going through to create. And that's basically what he do. He sing music. He I don't know if he sings. He said he sings. He's a musician, and it helps him. He said he hasn't done it in years, and he said he just loves the feeling of seeing others, the people in the crowd, he said he loves seeing the people in the crowd, of how they cheer him on. And basically what he was saying is they don't even know what this really even means to him, and that it's helping him also stay sober. That's beautiful. I have here ease as well. Know that this assistance that the divine may bring. So when you invite help and really asking the divine first. See, some of you, there may be some obsession, some attachment, some addiction, something that you may be going through right now in this time, and it may be really hard in this time. But really asking, using your mouth. That's what we have. These words are powerful, and the divine is ready for us to ask anytime. We have a higher self. We have a higher source. Whatever you believe in, that is ready and waiting for us to just ask. And when you're able to ask, there are so many solutions. Divine can bring so much assistance to you. The true assistance, the assistance that you need, the assistance that is needed for you, that is tailored for you. But when we go, see, it's a reminder to not to go out, try to just do things. See, in the past, this what it may be. In the past, you may have asked people for help when it comes to whatever it is that you're trying to get rid of or stop or do. And they may have let you down in the past. And it's because you were trying to do this on your own. But there's a higher source. There's a higher self that is ready to help. And this higher self, this higher source is divine. The divine will bring you the people and the things that is needed in your life in this time to help you in this journey. I don't know why I got so serious, got so into that like that, but there may be for someone. And this is why this ease card is here as well, because I believe when I saw this ease card, it's just a reminder when you're able to trust in the divine, trust that what you ask will come, and trust that the divine will bring you the right assistance, everything will flow with ease. It won't be difficult. It won't be challenging. It will flow with ease. You will know when the person is for you. You will know when the divine has sent a person or a place, not a person or a place, a person or a thing to assist you. You will know. And it's also a reminder to get into that mindset to know that everything is easy. It's easy for you to receive. I hope that resonated for someone. Courage. Wow. This gonna take courage. This message is for someone. That message just in general may be for someone. It doesn't even just have to be with, it may be just going to the next level in life. It may be, something, just something that may be kind of like, I may say it's small, but it may be big to you. It may just be you may, 999, you could be seeing 999, and this is a reminder that something is nearing an end, and you might be right about to just step into this next phase or step into this next level, but you may be afraid of something. There may be a belief or a mindset or just something that may just be tiny that is holding you back to get to that next level. So that could be for someone, or this could just be going back to that message of me speaking about, asking the divine for the help of what you're needing in this time, or what you're needing to let go of in this time, what you're needing in this time. Is speaking that this is what this courage card is speaking of. This is courage. You may think that this is vulnerable. You may be thinking it's not vulnerable, it's courage. You may be vulnerable in this time. That is courage. But you may be feeling as though it's weak. It's courage to ask. It's going to take courage to ask as well. It takes courage to ask, especially when you're vulnerable. And this is what this card is reminding you of, is that this is courage. Wow. I have here being enough. Wow. The innermost heart says you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change. No need to grow, more deserving. You, yes, you are loved. Wow. So this is a reminder for someone as well. And I'm going to read the courage card. It says, divine courage is not the absence of fear, but a nudge that says, keep going, do it. Don't worry, all will be well. You have to get quiet enough to hear it. Dear divine, may I feel your courage and your will. Wow. This may have to do something with health. See, I just spoke of something that someone may have, overcome an illness, or there may be someone who you're overcoming an illness. And I have here impatience. It's not patience, it's impatience. And I'm going to read the health card. It says, allow me, divine, to be tender and accepting of my body, no matter what ailments I may have. May I always know it's doing the best that it can. Help me be a loving ally and friend to this sacred form. And the impatience card says, my life is unfolding in divine timing. All delays are beneficial. I'm always at the right place at the right time. And indeed you are. It didn't say, and indeed you are. That was me adding on to it. Please know that you are enough. Enjoyment. Striving and pushing makes life into endless hard work. The more you invite in love to take over, the more enjoyment comes. Allow me to enjoy this life, dear Lord. So this is a reminder of, enjoying, being present and enjoying where you are in this time. Endlessly worrying, and this may be a reminder in this time I don't even know if endlessly a word. It's not. But it's just a reminder in this time to continue to worry yourself in the endless way. Working hard endlessly. I've done that before. And, this is an energy that puts you in survival mode. And the only focus you have is just trying to survive. You're just trying to survive. And this may be a message for someone as well. You're just trying to survive. But you may be reminded in this time to let go, to surrender. To let go and surrender and trust in the divine. Be grateful for how far you've come and honor the divine within. You may be guided right now to maybe you were in this energy of divine alignment, and there was a time where you got off track a little bit. I'm not gonna say you got off track. You had to go into survival mode, because it's survivors when you get out of it and you overcome it. But right now, for some, there may have been an event that may have caused you to go in survival. And when you're in survival, all you're doing is focus. You can't create. Your mind, when you're in that mode, your body becomes imbalanced. it becomes an imbalance within, and it becomes an imbalance within your environment as well. And what may have happened is, because of this imbalance, because you wasn't able to, because when you're in this state of being in survival mode, and when you're in it in a long period of time, you're not able to be present. You're not able to create like you normally do. And because you were in this may have caused a lot of loss in your life, within and in your life. I was going somewhere with this, and I kind of got off. What I was saying, though, is there may be someone who you may have been in divine alignment before, but there may have been an event or experience that may have happened that may have caused you to be in survival mode, and this may have created an imbalance. But you had to go through the journey to become balanced again, to become into divine alignment again, to trust, to ground yourself, to self-love again, to take care of yourself, to cut off the people and places and things that no longer serve you, so that you can raise your vibration, so that you can raise your energy. And now you're trusting in this time. Now you're learning to honor yourself again, honor your path, honor how much you've been through, enjoy this time, and see things through the divine lens, and reflect on what you've been through. So I really hope that this message resonated with you all. I know that there was a lot of messages within this message. Also, again, I want to thank you all for showing love and sending love. Thank you so much. Sending you so much love and light. May you get it through the wind. Thank you.